It's Rick and Patty from the KORD Morning Show. Thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.
And, of course, you can always catch us anywhere and everywhere with our KORD mobile app. It's free for you in the App Store as well in Google Play.
Jason Aldean, lights come on. Number one for New Country. It's 102.7 KORD. Happy Monday. Got Rick. You got Patty. Always good to be with you. Little brisk morning. I know Patty was out.
I don't mind that.
I know. Well, over the weekend, Patty has a story to tell because you went
What
and
are you
saw.
talking about?
You went and saw Luke Combs.
Fantastic show.
Yeah.
Those wins are no joke, though, in the gorge.
Of course
Holy
not.
buckets.
Of course
and, can I just say, too, for a cocktail,
Yeah.
$32.
Wow.
But it lit up.
It lit up. Okay. So
My lemonade, my spiked lemonade. And and it had it had its own what do you call it?
little umbrella.
Not an umbrella, but it had a cap.
all right.
A cowboy hat.
Oh, there you go. How
and
cool.
it lit up.
And it lit up, so they could see you all the way through the gorge with that with your light, right?
Luke Combs, Parker McCollum, unbelievable.
So I know you're a
Unbelievable.
huge Parker McCollum fan.
Oh, yeah.
And
burn it down. He grabbed somebody's phone and did a selfie. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Luke Combs, of course, everything's a hit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma.
Right. It was
Holy
good. It was
buckets.
good, huh?
The
it was
whole
good.
show. Fantastic. But I just got to say, those wins,
Yeah.
unreal.
Well,
I kind of thought, this might be canceled. I mean, I was like, they can't now.
Oh, really?
You know.
Oh, really? It was that.
They made us wait.
Right.
It was worth the wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so it was wow, that windy to where.
Well, I knew that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow, though.
the
Still
whole place was packed.
packed. Oh,
Everybody had a phenomenal time.
It's Luke Combs. Of course,
I
it's going to be
know,
packed,
I know.
man. It's going to be awesome. I always tell my wife every time we go out to the gorge, it's like, yeah, it may be a nice hot day, but that nighttime.
Oh, we knew when we were pitching our tent.
You're like, this is going to
be an issue. Yeah.
It's going to be cold out here. All right, as you dive into your Monday, today is National Frappe Day, National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day,
Ooh.
National Inner Beauty Day, Bathtub Day, and National Forgiveness and Happiness Day. So there you go. A couple things that are going on today.
I don't mind the bathtub day. I took a bath this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to put a dog in the bath, though.
Oh.
That's not going down.
No, it is not.
All right, grab a cup of coffee, dig in, let's get going. You got Rick and Patty, KORD.
We love to hear from you, and it's easier than ever to reach out. Just open up the Cord mobile app and send us an app chat message, or you can contact us the old-fashioned way at 509-547-KORD. Number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD. 102.7 KORD. Our cash cow wants you to pick up some milk money. All right. Listen while you work for codes every hour from 8:20 to 5:20. Enter them on our app and you could win cash up to $30,000. It's utterly ridiculous, but the money sure would come in handy. Download our app to play and for full rules and details. Number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD.
Anywhere 622, number one for New Country, 102.7 KORD. Great to see Gwen back on The Voice. Really enjoying this year. Snoop, man, Snoop's been a delight.
I know.
He's been great. Snoop's been great. Reva's great. And Michael Boulet's been great.
Yes.
But, yeah, Snoop was a surprise for me. But he's got a quick one for every time. And doing a great job on The Voice. All right, Facebook fun to get your day started. Here you go.
What do you got?
What's your favorite birthday cake? What do you prefer when you're talking about your birthday?
So my husband likes a yellow cake with chocolate frosting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a Betty Crocker classic.
I don't know. I like the tres leches. The
Oh, yeah.
three milk or whatever. It's so moist.
Yes, it's very soft. Yeah, like
Yes.
almost like a sponge cake type thing,
Yes. Yes, sir.
right? My wife thinks I'm pretty boring, but white cake, white frosting's good enough for me.
Oh.
But my wife loves pie, so we do not get her
Oh.
cake for her birthday. It's Marion Berry. She's from Oregon. So she likes Marion Berry pie
Okay.
is the big deal we do
Nothing
for her.
wrong with that.
No, for her birthday. So for me, it's like I don't dislike. No one dislikes chocolate cake.
Heck no.
I just wouldn't put chocolate cake as my favorite. But trust me, if it was in front of me, I'd eat it.
I hear you.
Because it's chocolate cake.
Yes.
But if you're asking what I would like, it's for me. It's a white cake.
I like cream cheese frosting.
Oh,
on
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, or what is it? The buttercream. The
that would work
buttercream.
too.
Yeah, for me. And then the older I get, the more I don't like the real hard frosting.
I don't
almost
need
like that fake kind of
I
frosting.
got it. And sometimes it's so thick. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you have to have so much
Right,
frosting?
right. Maybe as a kid.
You know what? I dig having cake.
Yeah, I
I
like.
don't need so much frosting.
Yeah, I like having the frosting be soft as well with the cake, and if it's a thin layer, that's good. But that really weird, like when they make amazing cakes out of it, but it's not. I don't think it tastes very good with that. Almost feels like what I'm talking.
Well, there's
about.
so much frosting.
Right,
You
exactly.
You don't need a whole layer.
I've seen enough Cake Boss, man, because I love that show. I love Buddy and the Cake Boss, but I'm like, a little too much. Is it fondue? Is whatever that is?
Oh,
Whatever.
yeah.
However they make it, it's like, it's a little too
Well,
much.
it's fondant, I believe.
Oh, right, all right. Yeah, that's rock hard, right?
When I lived
yeah.
in California, somebody made me a Coach purse cake.
Oh, very.
It was
cool.
amazing.
Really?
It looked just like a purse. I go, wow, somebody got me a purse. They're like, it's a cake.
Wow, and you
I know.
fooled you. Yeah, there is some great videos of like, is it cake or real?
Is it the real product?
Yeah, and
I know.
And when you see those, you're like, that thing's not a cake, and then it turns out to be a cake. Like, wow, that's amazing. So there you go. What's your favorite birthday cake? We're gonna share some of your comments on the way. That is the Facebook fun. You got Rick and Patty.
You're waking up with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
Underwood, there you go. Coming to American Idol, 6:38. You got Rick, you got Patty. Great to be with you. 42 degrees, clear skies. Time for some Nashville news.
So, Jelly Roll tells the latest edition of Us Weekly that he recently stunned his family and his friends with a skill that they might not have known that he possesses. Jelly Roll says, I've known sign language since high school because I had a friend who was deaf. I surprised the team the other day when I had a conversation with an American Sign Language interpreter. He knows sign language. Meanwhile, Morgan Wallen has launched a new campaign to help raise funds and food for Hurricane Helene victims. Morgan has launched the Help campaign in partnership with the Second Harvest Food Bank. Folks can donate food and water at Westtown Mall in Knoxville this Wednesday, or you can donate online. The food drive is at secondharvest-etn.fenley.org. And also, Dolly Parton has announced a huge donation to help survivors and communities recover from the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Dolly has donated $1 million herself, and then she's got another $1 million coming from a match from Dollywood Partners, which includes Walmart and others as well. Kelsey Ballerini getting ready to release her upcoming project. It's called Patterns, and that will drop on October 25th, featuring 15 songs, including a duet, Cowboys Cry 2. The cover art pays tribute to another song on the record. It's called Baggage, and Kelsey calls it her most intimate and self-reflective project to date. Patterns dropping October 25th. Finally, Gotta at least acknowledge this. The Daily Mail says that Trisha Yearwood and Garth Brooks' adult daughters are supporting him. Don't believe he assaulted a hair and makeup artist. A source says that Garth is known to be a very kind and nice man. These allegations are very shocking. Everyone around him, including Trisha and his daughters, believe him to be telling the truth. Many around him think that this is very out of character and something that he'd never do. And they say everyone is shocked. At
It is very shocking. And Brooks,
I have to admit, I was shocked when I read.
I was shocked all weekend long reading up on it. But I've been reading up on it, and he's asked for a jury. He's asked for a trial. He's asked. He wants to face this accuser. And so, and then when you read and he'd already filed suit against this woman already before she filed suit against him.
Well,
so something's going on.
It'll
there.
be interesting. Well, let's see how it all plays out.
Truth always comes out.
Absolutely. We'll keep you posted. Those are your trending headlines.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD. 1027 KORD. Our cash cow loves country music and loves giving you extra spending cash. Up to $30,000 could be yours. Listen while you work for codes every hour from 8:20 to 5:20, and then enter them on our app for your shot to win cash.
Yeah, okay.
We're milking it for all it's worth. Download our app to play and for full rules and details. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
Number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Great to be with you right now, about 42 degrees on your morning commute. Happy Monday. Hopefully you're having a great day so far.
It just got started.
It's October 7th, and again, the cold mornings, then the nice, beautiful days, and then that cold just drops again.
Wait, what are you going to be like when it first snows?
It's
coming.
Normally, what is it? Is there always November maybe, December? There's always a first little snow we get, and then it goes away for a while, and then we get hit with the good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Are we gonna have a mild one this year?
I think it's going to be a cold, cold winter.
Rather than snow, just cold.
I think we're going to get some snow.
Think so?
I do.
I say it's been a while, but for me, every 3 years we get a good blizzard through here. So, yeah, this may be the year.
I don't want a blizzard.
Well, we've had
And I don't want a lot of snow. I'm from Minnesota.
I know
There's
you
a
are.
reason I moved west.
I know, I hear you, but we do get them every 3 or 4 years, and it's not fun. And there was one year, was a couple years back, where it literally was still like in March. I'm like, really? We're just going to keep doing this? You know?
I will say I did get some new tires, so I'm ready for
You're
winter.
You're good to go. Well,
Bring it on.
It was amazing. So before Patty went to see Luke Combs, her tire light came on, and I didn't notice anything out of. I mean, it was low.
either.
It was low,
I
but I
didn't
didn't know.
either.
Yeah, didn't know.
But there I am driving home,
And
my tire blew out.
I know. Isn't that
What?
the craziest story?
I was on. I know.
Because you were headed to the tire. I mean,
I was headed, to Les Schwab.
You were, and then it happened. It's like, and man, I guess that when it says it's not good, it's not good. And here
I should have went to Les Schwab locally here.
Right.
You know, but AAA. There's a Les Schwab in Pasco. I know.
Well, there's a couple tire shops
Yes.
just around the corner here, but
Yes.
you didn't know.
I had no idea.
Because you looked at the tire, you're like, okay, it's down a little bit, but you're like, I can get to the dealership. And so when you got on the freeway, I said, nope, you're not going nowhere.
And thank goodness for those lights. So I was like, well, before it said, and I knew the pressure was low because and it was obscenely low.
Well, obviously, must have got you good. So we're just glad you're back, and
thank you,
and
Rick.
got to go to Luke Combs and all of that. We're gonna work on another edition of Other People's Problems. That's coming up here in just about 10 minutes. You got Rick and Patty.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, #1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
His latest, Miles on at 7:13, #1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning, 45 degrees, clear skies. Happy Monday. Here's a situation I can relate to. It's going on in Other People's Problems. What's going on with Jason here?
Rick and Patty, my friend, is down on his luck. He's applied to work at a company where I work. He asked me to put in a good word with the boss, and I'm torn about what to do because I desperately want to help. But I know I can't recommend him because of his past track record. He's barely employable because of his attitude. What would you do if you were me? Make the recommendation or not? He's practically begging me to help him. I don't want the recommendation to blow back on me if things go south. Jason in Richland.
It's a tough situation to be in because I've always felt that the #1 thing that you have is your character.
Yep.
That's the #1 thing when I was taught as a kid is your character counts, your character matters, and you are tied to people that you know, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You hang around with a bad group, you're not necessarily a bad person or one of the bad ones, but people are going to reflect upon that. And I've in my past, it was so funny when I was. It was funny that I got a call out of the blue one time for an ex-coworker, and the person goes, "Oh, so and so applied for a job with us," and I went. They put me down as a reference, because I was shocked.
Yeah.
And my buddy goes, no. I just know that you know this person, and that you worked with this person. I said, yeah. I said I couldn't. I said I couldn't imagine being their reference. And so, and they said, well, and I said, well, I did not give them a bad reference. He just knew by my reaction, like, what? They put me down as a reference? What? And he goes, okay. He goes, that's all I need to know. Thanks. So it's one of those things where I would be hesitant to do that because I've had so many people that I've tried to give second and third chances to, and they blow it.
I'll never recommend anybody for a job, even if they want me to. I did like reach out and go above and beyond and said good things, and we hired this person, and guess who took my job?
Exactly, that person.
That same person.
Well, that same, and I'm talking about that same
I know
person.
you are. I know you are.
That I got
know
a call
exactly who you're talking about.
And I'm just going to say, because I don't have to say names, the laziest human I've ever come across in my career, in my entire life. I could see from our studio window as I looked into the other studio, them playing solitaire all day. And that is the truth. And I went, wow. And their shift started at 10. They would roll in at 10:15. They'd go to lunch at noon and be back at 1:30, and then they'd waddle out of here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And they go, oh, I'm exhausted. I just work so hard. This company doesn't understand how hard I work. I'm like, I sit in this studio going, what am I observing? What am I observing? So, yes.
I get it. Totally.
I've given my recommendation and been burned. So, and you've been in the same boat. So I think it's a tough, I don't know. What do you guys think? 547 KORD app chat us. Would you give the recommendation?
Or not.
Or not? I don't know. I'm torn on this one. So
I know.
It really depends on the person. But even my own brother one time, it was so funny. We'll wrap it up with this. He was a freshman, I was a senior, right? And he complained that he couldn't, and we didn't live together.
Okay.
But he complained, that he couldn't make it to school, right? So I said, I will pick you up every morning and I will take you to school. And just by the weirdness, he happened to have first period with me, right?
Oh.
So I would
Interesting.
I would religiously.
Was he ready to go?
Yep. I'd pick him up. He did the first period, and guess what he did the rest of the day? He didn't. He left.
Oh, no.
He left. Yeah. He left school ground.
But he wanted to look good in your eyes.
I understand. I understand that. My brother never graduated. Never.
Oh, no.
No, he didn't. My brother never graduated.
Oh.
No, he dropped out. He never graduated. My other brother never graduated. My sister never graduated. Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody in my
family.
family.
You went out of your way to help.
All right, exactly. And this is my brother. So would I recommend him for this? No. No. All right, 547 KORD app chat us what you do. We want to know. Comments are already flooding in on the Facebook. We'll share these coming up. You got Rick and Patty. KORD.
The Cord Morning Show with Rick and Patty. Back with more next on number one for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Number one for New Country, 1027 KORD. You got Rick, you got Patty. Always good to be with you. Do you ever keep up with Dance with the Stars?
I haven't this time, no.
Okay, all right, I was going to say.
Why? What's going on?
Well, tonight is Soul Train night, if you're just curious. So
that's good to know. I
know.
might tune in for that.
So if you like old school dance or whatever. For me, it has gotten to the point with that show that I don't recognize almost 90% of the celebrities.
They're not all stars.
They're like.
Who are you talking about?
Right. I mean, I think I enjoyed it the first one or two seasons, maybe in the beginning. Like, okay, this is interesting, I will generally sometimes watch if it's a cute contestant. So there are certain celebrities that I'm like, oh, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Okay, I'm going to watch that because it's Kelly Kapowski. So Kelly, so I'm that man. I'm that male. It's like, oh, she's cute. I'm going to watch it. I'm not watching. I'm not really watching it for the dancing, but tonight is going to be Soul Train night. So it got me thinking because I was talking to our coworker AJ, and I've talked to some other coworkers around here.
About Dancing with the Stars?
No, about the fact that did you have fifth grade square dance? And so some people say they had fifth grade square dance. I had it in
fourth grade.
So it was in Idaho. I went to school 1 year. I went 1 year only in Idaho, and that had fifth grade square dance.
I remember Do-Si-Do.
Yeah, Do-Si-Do, and it was fifth grade, and you had to,
Swing your partner now.
Allen left and all that, right? So I was asking him, and he says, well, he had a class of like 20 people. So I was like, oh, that might have been some dudes dancing with some dudes, some girls dancing with some girls, square. I mean, if you only got a small class like that. So he said he didn't do it. He said he didn't do the square dancing class. So it got me thinking about old school dances, the best and cheesy, because we've talked a lot about Gangnam Style. You were forced to do Gangnam Style many years ago on stage. I
was.
Yeah. So
but my partner had a knee replacement.
Yeah. Get out there.
Get out there and do your dance. What?
So think about dances. The Macarena, the Caterpillar.
I remember that.
The Carlton.
Yeah, the Macarena was hot.
Moonwalking.
Wow.
I think the very first dance as a young kid, I was really young, that I knew anything about was the jitterbug.
Well, okay.
I mean, because and it was the late 70s. It's the late 70s.
Man, I remember.
Yeah.
The swim or whatever.
Oh, the swim. Or acting like a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like act like a robot. Any of those kind of things. So, So best cheesy school dance of all time.
Yeah, the twist is old, man.
Oh, the twist. Yeah. The twist, too.
There's a whole song, Do the Twist.
There was.
Come on, baby.
And I remember when I was in my senior year of high school, Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys had that big, come on, baby, do the twist.
twist,
So,
yeah.
so here we are, that was 1988 or whatever. That was senior prom. We were twisting because of that song was back again. And there was Wipeout and all those kind of things. So, all right, take some calls, have some fun. 547 KORD, best cheesy old school dance of all time. I'm going to go with, I always wanted to do the moonwalk. I mean, that was cool at the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I got to go with the Macarena as the cheesiest.
I remember that. I don't know. It's the cheesiest.
All right, we'll take some calls, see what you guys think. It's Rick and Patty, KORD.
You're listening to Rick and Patty in the morning on number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. 1027 KORD. Our cash cow loves country music and loves giving you extra spending cash. Up to $30,000 could be yours. Listen while you work for codes every hour from 8:20 to 5:20, and then enter them on our app for your shot to win cash.
Okay.
We're milking it for all it's worth. Download our app to play and for full rules and details. Number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
Third, number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD. It's 742, your morning commute. You got Rick, you got Patty. Great to be with you. 745.
Yes, sir.
43 degrees, clear skies. All right, here you go. This is fun.
What?
Cheesiest old school dance of all time. Is it the Carlton? Is it the Caterpillar?
The Carlton.
The Jitterbug, the Moonwalk, so many fun. The mashed potato. This is well before my time.
Wow.
Well, that's
way old
I
school.
mean, that's not.
Holy buckets.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, we weren't even born when the mashed potato was around, right? Did you go to your junior or senior proms?
I did not. I didn't go to hardly any proms.
Okay,
No.
all right. I was just trying to think about. I don't recall doing any of these dances, even though I did go to my junior and senior prom. I don't recall doing any of the dances though. Like,
Man, I couldn't even tell you what was the hot dance.
yeah,
in my day.
The only thing I could think about again was the twist. That's it. That we kind of did because Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys had a hit at the
Wow.
time. But I think
Yeah.
that's it. I
Yeah.
can't think of people just kind of. I don't know. We kind of just swayed back. We just kind of swayed back and forth. I don't recall anybody. At my high school trying to be fancy. That's for sure.
Well, Blake Shelton kind of sings about the Dougie.
Yeah. The
Nobody
Dougie,
does-
right?
yeah,
I think my school, at least where I'm at, is I think we were in between because country line dancing came along after Garth blew up. Those that was
Well, Achy Break Your Heart. Remember when that song came out?
Yeah,
That was.
But see, I'd already graduated, so I wasn't line dancing or anything. But how about country line dancing? Is that can that be cheesy? What do you think? Oh, people are like, no, it's not, Rick. Country line dancing. What do you think? Could it be? Could the Dougie be? Yeah, I don't know. Taking calls, 547 KORD. Tell us about what you think is the cheesiest dance of all time.
It has to be the chicken dance.
Oh, yeah.
Because you
Oh.
look stupid when you get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good looking you are, you're still looking stupid.
There you go.
Well, no, everybody else was doing it too, so I didn't feel so bad.
Thank you. So I forgot about the chicken dance. Of course, the chicken dance is infamous.
Well, if you're gonna go for that, like that way, the chicken dance, you got to go for the hokey pokey. Oh, chicken dance.
Yes, the hokey pokey. See, these were two things we did at the skating rink.
Yes.
The dance and the
yes.
hokey pokey were the two things that you did. So there you go. Oh yeah, all right. And then what is that? Weddings and stuff like that. They'll bring out the chicken
Yeah,
dance too
yeah.
and all that. What about the limbo? Is that a dance? Is the limbo a dance? Curious if you think a limbo is a dance.
I don't think so.
All right, 547 KORD. Worst dance. What do you think it is?
I think the worst dance of my generation was the MC Hammer.
No.
Ridiculous. Running back and forth sideways. Come on, let's be serious. I did that. I did the Running Man.
The Running
did it
Man.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not be doing the robot, the worm. Worm is my generation too.
The worm. That's
about
right.
the worm.
What about the shopping when we were shopping? I act like you're shopping cart, and all that. All right, I think
Oh my gosh.
think we've gone deep into this. 547 KORD. Strangest, weirdest, cheesiest, best old school dance. We want to know more of your calls on the way. You got Rick and Patty.
We love to hear from you, and it's easier than ever to reach out. Just open up the Cord mobile app and send us an app chat message, or you can contact us the old-fashioned way at 509-547-KORD. Number 1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.
And I had some help with Morgan Wallen, $752. And yes, it's our final week of $30,000.
That's a lot of money.
It
I've
is
got it spent already. I'm going to concerts.
Somebody is going to win this. Somebody is going to win this.
yeah.
And we're super excited about it. And we get a lot of questions about it. And you got to download the KORD mobile app. First thing you got to do, and your Apple Play's got it, your Google Play's got it for you. Go get it. And then once you
That's where you input those codes.
Yeah, and what gets confusing is you got to go through the win cash, little right in the middle of the app.
Just scroll down
And
to
then-
the right, to,
yes.
to the correct day.
And there's so
An
many
hour.
Yep, and there's so many ways to get there's social sweeps, there's other ways to get extra points to get the $30,000.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on X. But Twitter and X is the same thing, but to me it's always, I don't care what
It's X.
I know it's X, but to me it'll always be Twitter. Sorry. But yeah, you could do several things right there. Facebook, all that right there. So a lot of people sometimes get confused where to put the code in at. And we do get it sometimes.
Win cash.
Win cash in the app, and then you have to scroll down to the correct date and time, and then just pop it in just like that. So, and we'll have that coming up here in just about 20 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Ready to give away that $30,000.
Yes, sir.
I know, this is the
Bring it.
final week. Want to give you a chance at $30,000. First code coming down. It's 1027 KORD.
You're waking up with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD. 1027 KORD. Our cash cow loves country music and loves giving you extra spending cash. Up to $30,000 could be yours. Listen while you work for codes every hour from 8:20 to 5:20. And then enter them on our app for your shot to win cash.
Okay.
We're milking it for all it's worth. Download our app to play and for full rules and details. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
$1,000 on the way here in just minutes. It's 8:11 on your morning commute. You got Rick, you got Patty. Good morning. 45 degrees for you. So remember a few months ago we told you about the missing zebra that had
that's right. Yes.
that had been roaming around
Yeah.
North
Yeah.
Bend. Well, now we got a new one. We got Mabel the cow is up there in Whatcom County, and she had gotten out a couple months ago along with the buddy, and the buddy got caught. But Mabel the cow is still eluding.
Oh, look at her in traffic.
Yeah, she's still eluding the police up there. Now, what's different is she's not a dairy cow. So people are trying to go up to her, and she's skittish. She's taking off. She's like, I'm not a dairy cow.
I see her in traffic with a friend.
Yep, absolutely. The friend was captured. So they escaped on August 10th, and the authorities are still looking for Mabel.
Wow, that's a long time to be on the lam.
Yep, they're calling it the Great Bellingham Cow Hunt. If you're just curious, if they're
Poor Mabel.
Yes, and what they're more worried about right now with Mabel is as the days get shorter and darker, her access to food and water is going to get a little harder to get. So they're hoping people will call animal control and say, hey, if you see Mabel the cow,
spot her
somewhere. I love that. What was that one story about the donkey that got out? That
I don't know.
There was a story about a donkey that had been missing for 5 years, and he's with a bunch of elk, or he's been with a bunch of deer.
Oh, that's right.
And then
like in some mountain, you're doing just fine.
And they'd see him on occasion and go, yeah, he's living his best life. Let the donkey be.
He's fine, doing okay.
Doing okay.
Found his own.
So Mabel, they're still on the hunt for Mabel. You can definitely read that story. And again, she's on the loose. She's on the run. And then 4 baby names now banned in Washington. We've talked.
There's a whole lot more.
There's a whole
lot more going on with that.
Well, number 1, I have to say, Adolf Hitler. Why would you ever?
You're not going to name your kid that,
right? Why would you ever want to name your kid that? Yeah, absolutely. So that might be one of those names that you want to check into. So Patty's got the complete listing. She's posted it for you there on the station mobile app, and of course, all your American Music Awards stuff is up there right now. That happened over the weekend. Luke Bryan's up there. And then, of course, Spirit Halloween's having fun with Saturday Night Live because they're trolling. And somebody, shame on...
Are you talking about the DJ one?
No, somebody, shame on them, put Spirit Halloween on the Connell potato plant up there. I'm like, I saw that meme in a meme page. I'm like, man, that one cuts a little too close to home, guys. I mean, I'm all for the Spirit Halloween joke, but don't put it on.
A lot of people have lost their jobs.
Yeah, 375 jobs or so. So I saw that meme over the weekend, and someone said, too soon. I'm like, yeah, that one is a little too soon.
Just a little.
Yeah, it's sitting over there on Connell. So anyway, you can check those stories out and more. Posted for you now on the station mobile app.
starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD. 1027 KORD. Our cash cow wants you to pick up some milk money. All right. Listen while you work for codes every hour from 8:20 to 5:20. Enter them on our app and you could win cash up to $30,000. It's utterly ridiculous, but the money sure would come in handy. Download our app to play and for full rules and details. Number 1 for New Country. 1027 KORD.
Carrie Underwood and Church Bells, 625. 625 right now is the code for $30,000. Our final week to get this $30,000, at least for fall, and 625. 625 right now. Just mark that down and go to your KORD mobile app.
Hey, Rick, did you say 625?
I did say 625. 625. All right, I've been in this situation. I think Patty's been in this situation before, and we kind of both got backstabbed in this situation before. So what is going on here with Jason?
So Jason says he's got a friend down on his luck, applied to work at the same company where I work, where Jason works, and he asked him to put in a good word with the boss. Jason says he's torn about what to do. He says he desperately wants to help, but I know I can't recommend this guy because of his past track record. He barely employable because of his attitude. So what would you do if you were Jason? Do you make the recommendation or not? Jason says he's practically begging me to help him. I don't want the recommendation to blow back on me if things go south. Jason wants to know, what should he do?
Lots of comments on Facebook. What are people saying here, Patty?
From the top, Mary says, I personally wouldn't, but I also wouldn't tell a friend you didn't either, or you need to have a very awkward conversation with him and explain why you didn't.
Nora says, I wouldn't do it. I did it once and it came back on me. I recommended a friend's kid, and then they asked why, when we were working together one weekend. It was really slow, so the person in charge asked me to find things to keep the kid busy. Well, I did, and I did the work also to keep busy. Well, she told her mom, and then she took me to HR and said I wasn't her boss. Wow. So then HR came down to talk with us together. She brought her mom in. What the heck? We're really busy at the time. My boss said she believed me and that they would be in there with me, but then wasn't. They had security HR in there, and her and my mom and me. I let her tell everything and was going to get mad. Finally, I said, "Is it my turn to talk?" They said yes, and I asked her what I did. So they asked her, and she said she did everything I was doing. She got fired later for causing problems. So I say, don't do it at all. That is Nora.
Wow.
Great story there, Nora. That's a long one, but yeah.
Amber says, you could tell your buddy, sure, if they ask, but if they ask you, tell them you like him and you're friends with him, but you can't really speak on his work ethic as you've never worked with him.
That's right.
So be upfront.
Yeah, Dave says, yeah, exactly. Dave says be upfront with your employer, and most companies have a probationary period, and they could always give them a try. And if it works out, that would be good for all. But if not, the employer was told ahead of time. So you got to tell them ahead of time, basically.
Julie says, trust your gut if he's a true friend.
Oh, yeah. Sylvia says, I'm always in this situation with my job. Just throw in the words, conflict of interest, and that wouldn't be fair for all candidates for consideration. They usually seem to be understanding, or just say that you did and leave it at that. And that's Sylvia.
I'm just saying, I'm never going to recommend anybody. You know what I mean? If people say, hey, can you put in a good word for me? I will if they ask.
Yeah.
But I'm not, and this is from me.
Yeah, this is.
You know what I mean?
We've both been in this situation in our careers, and I was always, again, a former coworker. I got a call out of the blue. I wasn't on her reference sheet. And the guy is like, hey, I just know you know her and you work together.
Yeah.
And he goes, instead of going to her references, I'm going to you. Oh. And I said, because I was like, wow. And then just by the way, I picked up the phone. Yeah, I have so-and-so, you know so-and-so. I'm like, I'm not a reference. And I did literally, and he knew, he knew said, just the way I said, I'm not a reference. And he goes, oh, okay, you answered the question for me.
I one time, though, you have references. And I had somebody tell me that one of my references, just so you know, but he didn't tell me, the person I had applied with, said, one of your references didn't check out. And I'm like,
she didn't check out?
What? Yeah. What? And he's like, I can't tell you what they said. And I'm like, really?
What? They didn't give you a...
They didn't tell me what, but from... Yeah,
I've never had that.
That must have been a negative
Well, I haven't. You and I haven't.
When I
done reference-
so coming back to it, it was because I didn't spend like a full year in the position.
Oh, jeez.
The person was disappointed.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
So,
Cry me a river.
Well, but I was really concerned. Like, oh my God.
I know,
did somebody say something bad about me?
Wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I'd be like, Nick say, off the list you go. Bye-bye.
I don't know. People do, our industry is different.
Do people even call references these? I'm sure they do.
Do you know what? I know they do.
They do? Okay.
I know they do.
All right. I was curious if it's been a long time since I've had to do that. So I don't, I've been very fortunate. I've been in Tout Square.
Yeah, this is going back. This is an old,
Yeah.
I will say this. The last employer I had before coming here.
Wow,
Check out my references.
Interesting.
Yep, they
okay.
sure did.
All right. Well, we did our best. These people are going to say no, or just say you did and leave it at that. And again, you got this is a tough decision, Jason. Good luck with it. 547 KORD app chat us. Well, you would do in the situation. We want to know. It's other people's problems. You got Rick and Patty.
Starting your day the right way with the Cord Morning Show, #1 for New Country, 1027 KORD.